Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Tezos and its valuations against Bitcoin. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. So, Tezos for the past couple days had some pretty decent green candles. On Monday, rallied 3.5%, and the following day we rallied 5%, and right now we're holding steady at just above 33%. I know it says red. I don't. It's weird. The chart's weird. But it's plus 33%. Sorry, plus 0.33%. We have this channel drawn out, and we've been looking at this channel for quite some time, ever since mid-May, um, thinking that we might hold this channel. Ultimately, we broke it last week, but with like the same conversation as say Chainlink and its own channel. Um, Tezos has a chance to close back above it or back into it, and that would be pretty impressive, I would say, for the very least, because we did break it. But in all honesty, we could just be moving sideways within this channel here, right? So this is something that I have been looking at for quite some time. Have been accumulating in this range for quite some time. And if we look at the macro chart of Tezos, we could see that it does come back to this range every now and then. Within its history, it's happened twice. And historically, these are the best times to buy Tezos with your Bitcoin. And that's essentially what I've been doing. I've been accumulating. It's now 5% of my portfolio, so a good chunk. Larger than some, but definitely not as large as, say, my Chainlink, Ethereum, Uniswap, or Bitcoin positions. But enough to make a difference. And currently, my game plan for Tezos, okay, and I'll try to explain this as simply as possible, is that I'm not looking for a major breakout in the next couple weeks. Um, as we know, as we know with Tezos and altcoins in general, they tend to struggle with with Bitcoin being below the 20-week moving average, right? And I'll flip this to the 20-week moving average so you can see how far we are away from the 20-week moving average. We are, I'll take a measured move. We would have to rally from this point on about 37% to get back to the 20-week moving average. And until that happens, Tezos will continue to struggle. And my guess is that Tezos will continue to stay within this region here until Bitcoin says otherwise. So, with that said, let's take a look at roughly how long that might take. So, you see at the top, I've stacked Bitcoin and Tezos, and we'll see, with the last two times it came back to this area, and that would be let's see, here, here, and here. We'll see how it looks stacked against Bitcoin. So we can see that, and we'll look at the last move of it being back at this level. So from June 24th, 2019 to, you say, November of 2019. We stayed below while Bitcoin was above the 20-week moving average, right? As it moved sideways and broke the 20-week moving average, it continued to stay at this level for quite some time. And it was right after the test of the 20-week moving average to the upside where we see Tezos slowly gain back dominance, right? When we go back here, we could see not exactly the same. Oh, whoops. Not quite the same, but definitely something that's quite interesting. That so when Bitcoin is below the 20-week moving average, and you can make the argument on the week of February 18th, Bitcoin did wick up quite close to the 20-week moving average, and it was only a few weeks after where we see the rally from Tezos, right? Now, we can't say for certain if this rally is going to be something that comes up to this or it comes to the macro point here. However, these are the moves that I'm waiting for. That's essentially it. So we are now below the 20-week moving average, and we're going to be here for quite some time. And so the next signs I am looking for is a test of the 20-week moving average from Bitcoin. So that would be the first step. So Bitcoin gets back to the 20-week moving average, at which point we'll take a look at Tezos for the weeks after and see how it reacts. Maybe it starts ticking upwards and breaking out of the buy region. The next step would be if we don't see any reaction from Tezos, then is when Bitcoin ultimately breaks the 20-week moving average, because we know that when Bitcoin is attempting to break out of the 20-week moving average, this is that is the move, right? So you could see that it started to move up, right? It put a 9% week when Bitcoin was still below the 20-week moving average, followed by a 6% week, followed by a 37% week when it was testing the 20-week moving average. And then the following week, it was a 56% move. And then we stayed at that level for quite some time until Bitcoin took back the reins. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for with Tezos. When Bitcoin is ready to take on the 20-week moving average, we should see some kind of reaction from Tezos. Um, and that's simply what I'm waiting for, and that's why I accumulated it now, accumulated it within the buy region in the lower half, and currently just staking it. So I'm not currently on a time crunch with Tezos. It makes it a little better to hold because you can stake it and earn roughly 5.25% interest per year, and that's simply it, folks. It's as simple as that. And so that's why we're going to be waiting until Bitcoin makes a move to the 20-week moving average before we have any further expectations from Tezos. Until then, expect Tezos to, maybe continue on within this buy region or within the channel that we had drawn out. My guess is that I don't think we'll get back into the channel, but rather we'll just kind of float further and further onwards sideways within this buy region. We could rally back up and get back to, maybe the top of the band in the fall or something, or in late summer, in August. That's entirely possible. Or we could just continue to move sideways here. What's interesting is that we are in the last month of June, and we're putting in our second red monthly candle for Tezos. So we'll see what happens in August. It's going to be the marking of the the end of summer. Which is kind of sad, but it's something that we expected. We expected Bitcoin to struggle below the 20-week moving average, and it won't recover very quickly, and it will take quite some time, several months, for it to recover like that. Anyway, that is all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.